These three pale, smooth desserts are classic blancmange, the sweet, dairy-based pudding you expect to arrive at the end of a meal. For nearly 400 years, the true hidden core of this pale dish was actually shredded poultry. The wealthiest tables of medieval Europe treated pulled chicken, poached fine as silk, as the most refined thing a kitchen could produce. The central mystery lies in the name, the transformation of a wealthy medieval meat dish into the delicate, wobbly dessert we recognize today. Blancmange is a culinary fossil. It swapped its main ingredients, altered its flavor profile, and its purpose in the meal, while keeping its original title. To solve the mystery of this imposter dessert, we have to look past the candlelit halls of Europe and trace the recipe back to its true, distant origin. While medieval European cooks were still wrestling with smoke and pottage, the kitchens of 10th century Baghdad were operating in a highly advanced, literate culinary world. Arab cookbooks from 1,000 years ago describe a direct ancestor to our modern pudding called muhallabiya, a refined dish of rice and milk, often containing chicken, served to honor guests. This recipe card shows the baseline DNA of the original dish. It relied on 4 foundational pillars: rice, almond milk, expensive cane sugar, and shredded chicken. The cultural blending in Norman Sicily and the returning armies of the Crusades pushed this Arab dish into Christian Europe. The pale idea adopted new names: blancmange in France, bianco mangiare in Italy, and manjar blanco in Spain. European elites returned from the East carrying a new appetite for refined Islamic cuisine, cementing this pale chicken dish as the ultimate luxury for the medieval court. By 1390, the master cooks of King Richard II officially codified the dish as blancmange in the oldest known English cookbook, the Forme of Cury. Recreating the medieval version requires significant physical exertion. Squeezing milk out of pounded almonds takes a stubborn arm and hours of work, pressing the liquid through linen cloth by hand. Every white ingredient, the almonds, the rice, the sugar, was imported at astronomical expense. A bowl of blancmange served as an economic flag, announcing that the host could afford to buy the world. The dish also provided a religious loophole. Almond milk allowed wealthy Catholics to enjoy a rich, creamy-looking meal during Lent, when real dairy and meat were forbidden by the Church. This banquet scene captures the opulent, decorative nature of medieval dining. Cooks would often boil the rice and almond milk down into firm, sliceable blocks, an edible architecture sometimes gilded with gold leaf to impress guests. Medical texts prescribed this exact same bland dish as a soothing remedy for the sick. Its mildness made it suitable for the weak and recovering, offering a gentle alternative to the heavy spices of the era. Medieval blancmange occupied 2 opposing extremes of life. It was expensive enough to boast to a king, but bland enough to comfort a deathbed. In the 1600s, blancmange began to mutate on the table. While most beloved historical recipes simply vanish, this dish survived by quietly changing its identity while everyone was still eating it. This vintage photograph of a sugarcane harvest illustrates the economic shift that triggered the change. As global trade expanded and sugar became cheaper, its sweetness began to swallow the savory elements of the dish. By 1604, household recipes show the shredded chicken being swapped out for the gelatin of a calfsfoot. The bird flew away, leaving only the wobbly texture and its original name behind. By the 1700s, the savory elements were gone entirely. Blancmange had become the sweet, dairy-based pudding that fooled us at the beginning of this story. Recreating the medieval chicken and almond dish today provides a physical link to a lost culinary world. The honest verdict is that the dish is undeniably bland, but it is bland the way a lullaby is quiet, gentle, yielding, and deeply reassuring. This blandness was a deliberate design choice. It successfully married the status of expensive ingredients with the absolute comfort of a mild flavor. Blancmange is like a river that has maintained its course long after every drop of its original water has reached the sea. Food history evolves through gradual shifts in costume, leaving our modern plates as living museums of forgotten eras.